Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. We're Performance Agile. I'm Eric.
And I'm Vince.
Today's topic of conversation, the product delivery model.
So today we're talking about the product delivery model or a product delivery model. And our quote for today is from Henry Ford. And Henry Ford knew a little bit about process. So Henry Ford once said, if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got.
So in our last video, we talked about how we have to take a really thin slice of the entire organization to get this to work. Now, when we try to formalize it, when we think about a product delivery model, we're not saying it's the product delivery model. We're saying it's a product delivery model. What does that look like in your mind?
Well, it looks like it's just another piece of the decision process that the organization has to make. So let's relate it back to our quote even for a second. Sure, the organization has a way that they currently get an idea from the executive leadership board or from the stakeholders, the shareholders, whomever. There is a process in place by which somebody makes the decision, we're going to spend our money, we're going to make this or provide this service, let's create a project, let's form a team, and let's get it done. And so you have all your milestones and your dates and your expectations set in your current delivery model, whatever that looks like. As we progress in our conversations about the decision when we discussed about the difference being agile and the difference of doing agile, this is the main framework, if you will, around implementing other pieces of other frameworks and models into how you get your idea into the hands of a team and into production. So this is going to be your product or service delivery model. It will have to change because there will be new people involved. There'll be new techniques that will be involved, new methods, new frameworks. All of that will fit into your new product delivery model. So I want to be very, very clear. What we're really suggesting here is I think there's a misunderstanding that, when we do Agile, it's only at the team level. And so when we talk about the work that the team does, it's their product backlog that the product owner is managing. And if we're doing Scrum, then they work their own little Scrum backlog. And that's all that's needed in any company to be successful at being an Agile company. And I say that is very widely misunderstood, and it is a recipe for disaster.
Right, and that's good to call out because Scrum is a single team framework. Kanban is a single team framework. It doesn't have a good scaled approach at that level. Now, there are frameworks like Less and Scrum of Scrums and Disciplined Agile and Safe and a few others that exist in the world that try to best handle a scaled solution when it comes to getting multiple teams working out of multiple backlogs over periods of time rather than a single iteration. We're talking, either like a month or in some instances a quarter.
Right.
They got quarterly planning. So
we're
that's a good call out.
Yeah. So we're introducing a whole new mindset, right? And this new business model. This new business model is literally like, once the company decides that we need something, and now we're introducing new roles and new frameworks into this model, it is going to look different than the way that you currently do business today. And what we want to do is we want to take that big idea and we want to break it down. And then if we need to break it down again, we will. And if we need to break it down one more time to get to the team level so that, we can, and if you're not familiar with the terms I'm about to use, I apologize. I promise we will get to them. But that meets the criteria for the team to accept that work and do it to a definition of done
and ready
to the satisfaction of the product owner and other stakeholders. there's a process that the company has to, before we execute, has to carefully think through how we're going to break that work down, because it's not just, not only the vertical slice that we're talking about of from the idea into production. There's other people who are involved, right? In layers. It's not stovepiped. It is a threaded body of work, a seamless threaded body of work. And that's a lot of this, the planning into this model that goes into, the legacy systems that are already there, the new work that we're trying to introduce, what's the current architecture and the new architecture going to look like? How do we prioritize and carefully plan out that work with all of the people that need to be involved? But again, I'm going to stress, not everybody involved, but just the right people with the right experience, with the right knowledge and understanding of what needs to get done. And the leadership that's involved is there to support those people so that they're successful. But it's not just we have an idea and lob it over to a Scrum team, right? Or a Kanban team and say, here you go. If you have any questions, let us know.
That's correct.
Right. And oh, by the way, why aren't you done yet? Right. It has to be carefully thought through. And really, we don't talk a whole lot about scaled Agile. But if you ever go out to the Scaled Agile site, you'll notice that they have a placemat is what it's called. And it starts with the business, and they've got different layers depending on the size and complexity of the operation involved. But it's not just and you'll see that at the very bottom is the team layer, and that's where Scrum and Kanban live primarily, right? But there's also, you can have a Kanban, which is nothing more than a flow and a way to visualize it from the business down to that team. And there's people and activities that are involved. Your model, whatever you want to call it, however you want to design it, should follow a similar pattern. So that is a very big decision that needs to be made by every company when you decide you want to go Agile and be Agile and do Agile. Well, I think that's it for today. So thank you for joining us on another video. We hope you enjoyed it. Give us a like, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. But don't forget, we really want to hear your comments and experiences in the comments section below. And we will see you on the next video.